Sister cities or twin towns are a form of legal or social agreement between towns, cities, counties, oblasts, prefectures, provinces, regions, states, and even countries in geographically and politically distinct areas to promote cultural and commercial ties. The modern concept of town twinning, conceived after the Second World War in 1947, was intended to foster friendship and understanding between different cultures and between former foes as an act of peace and reconciliation, and to encourage trade and tourism. By the 2000s, town twinning became increasingly used to form strategic international business links between member cities. Terminology. In the United Kingdom, the term twin towns is most commonly used. The term sister cities is generally used for agreements with towns and cities in the Americas. In mainland Europe, the most commonly used terms are twin towns, partnership towns, partner towns, and friendship towns. The European Commission uses the term twin towns and refers to the process as town twinning. Spain uses the term ciudades hermanadas, which means sister cities. Germany, Poland, and the Czech Republic use partnerstadt de miasto partnerski place, partnerské mesto CZ, which translate as partner town or city. France uses ville jumelle, twin town or city, and Italy has gemellaggio, twinning, and commune gemellato, twinned municipality. In the Netherlands, the term is partnerstad or stedenband, city bond, when providing mutual support. In Greece, the word adelphopois, adelphopisi, fraternization, has been adopted. In Iceland, the terms vinaber, friend towns, and vinaborgir, friend cities, are used. In the former Soviet bloc, twin towns and twin cities are used, along with Garota Pobratimi, RU, sworn brother cities. The Americas, South Asia, and Australasia use the term sister cities or twin cities. In China, the term is Yuhao Shangxi, Yuhao Shangxi friendship city. Sometimes, other government bodies enter into a twinning relationship, such as the agreement between the provinces of Hainan in China and Jeju-do in South Korea. The Duzelage is a town twinning association with one town from each of the member states of the European Union, despite the term often being used interchangeably with the term friendship city. This may mean a relationship with a more limited scope in comparison to a sister city relationship, and friendship city relationships are mayor-to-mayor agreements. City diplomacy. In recent years, the term city diplomacy has gained increased usage and acceptance, particularly as a strand of paradiplomacy and public diplomacy. It is formally used in the workings of the United Cities and local governments and the C40 Cities Climate Leadership Group and recognized by the USC Centre on Public Diplomacy. A March 2014 debate in the British House of Lords acknowledged the evolution of town twinning into city diplomacy, particularly around trade and tourism, but also in culture and post-conflict reconciliation. The importance of cities developing their own foreign economic policies on trade, foreign investment, tourism and attracting foreign talent has also been highlighted by the World Economic Forum. Europe. The earliest known town twinning in Europe was between Paderborn, Germany, and Le Mans, France, in 836. Starting in 1905, Keighley in West Yorkshire, England, had a twinning arrangement with French communities Suresnes and Puteaux. The first recorded modern twinning agreement was between Keighley and Poix du Nord in Nord, France, in 1920 following the end of the First World War. This was initially referred to as an adoption of the French town. Formal twinning charters were not exchanged until 1986. The practice was continued after the Second World War as a way to promote mutual understanding and cross-border projects of mutual benefit. For example, Coventry twinned with Stalingrad and later with Dresden as an act of peace and reconciliation, all three cities having been heavily bombed during the war. The city of Bath formed an Alkmaar Adoption Committee in March 1945, when the Dutch city was still occupied by the German army in the final months of the war, and children from each city took part in exchanges in 1945 and 1946. Similarly, in 1947, Bristol Corporation, later Bristol City Council, sent 5 leading citizens on a goodwill mission to Hanover. Reading in 1947 was the first British town to form links with a former enemy city, Düsseldorf. The link still exists. Reading-Düsseldorf Association, http://www.reading-dusseldorf.org.uk/. Since 9 April 1956, Rome and Paris have been exclusively and reciprocally twinned with each other, following the motto, "Only Paris is worthy of Rome, only Rome is worthy of Paris." Within Europe, town twinning is supported by the European Union. The support scheme was established in 1989. In 2003, an annual budget of about €12 million was allocated to about 1,300 projects. The Council of European Municipalities and Regions also works closely with the Commission (DG Education and Culture) to promote modern, high-quality twinning initiatives and exchanges that involve all sections of the community. It has launched a website dedicated to town twinning. As of 1995, the European Union had more than 7,000 bilateral relationships involving almost 10,000 European municipalities, primarily French 2,837 twinnings and German 2,485 twinnings. Public art has been used to celebrate twin town links, for instance in the form of 7 mural paintings in the centre of the town of Sutton, Greater London. The 5 main paintings show a number of the main features of the London Borough of Sutton and its 4 twin towns, along with the heraldic shield of each above the other images. Each painting also features a plant as a visual representation of its town's environmental awareness. In the case of Sutton, this is in a separate smaller painting above its main one, showing a beech tree, intended as a symbol of prosperity and from which Carshalton Beeches in the borough derives its name. Another example of the use of public art is the wall sculpture of the partner cities of Munich, Germany. A recent study has concluded that geographical distance has very little, if any, influence upon communities' selections of a twin town. Twin towns are often chosen because of similarities between them, thus about 15 towns in Wales are twinned with towns in Brittany, and Oxford is with Bonn, Leiden, Grenoble and other university cities. In Italy, a good example of twinnings is Rovigo with Viernheim, Bedford and Tulcea. Many former West German cities are twinned with former East German cities. These twinning links were established before the fall of the Iron Curtain. Famous examples are the partnerships of Hanover and Leipzig, both of which have important trade fair grounds, or between Hamburg and Dresden. The first U.S.-German town twinning was in 1947 between Worthington, Minnesota and Kreilsheim. St. Petersburg in Russia holds the record for the largest number of partnership arrangements with other communities. In June 2012, the Scottish village of Dull and the U.S. town of Boring, Oregon, agreed to twin their municipalities to promote tourism in both places, playing on their names. Recently, some towns have made novelty twinning arrangements with fictional or virtual locations. Wincanton, England is partnered with Ankh-Morpork from Terry Pratchett's Discworld books. Town twinning has increasingly been used to form strategic international business links. For example, in the 1990s, when the Nottingham City Council in the UK considered installing a tram network, it consulted experts from its twin city of Karlsruhe, which has one of the most extensive and efficient tram networks in Germany. With assistance from Karlsruhe's specialist engineers, Nottingham completed its second tram line in 2013. In 2014, Bristol and New Orleans announced their intention to form a tuning partnership based on a shared musical heritage and culture offer, at the initiative of Bristol Mayor George Ferguson. Annecy, France and Narima, Tokyo have for several years shared a partnership based around their coexistent animation industry. United States. Toledo, Ohio twinned with Toledo, Spain in 1931 and was the first city in North America to engage in town twinning. Liberal, Kansas was twinned with Olney, Buckinghamshire in 1950, and the cities have run a joint Pancake Day race ever since. Littleton, CO twinned with Bega, Australia in 1961. Tashkent, the capital city of Uzbekistan, was twinned with Seattle, Washington in 1973. Rochester, Minnesota and Knebworth, UK are both centers for primary medical research, and they twinned in 1967. Town twinning begins for a variety of reasons. Generally, partner towns have similar demographics and size. They may arise from business connections, travel, similar industries, diaspora communities, or shared history. For example, the partnership between Portland, Oregon and Bologna, Italy arose from shared industries in biotechnology and education, and a similar attitude towards food. Whereas Chicago's link with Warsaw, Poland began with Chicago's historic Polish community. The twinning of Indianapolis with Monza, Italy is due to both cities' long association with auto racing. Mexico City is also one of Chicago's sister cities. A Twin Towns program was instituted in the United States in 1956 when President Dwight D. Eisenhower proposed a citizen diplomacy initiative. Sister Cities International was originally a program of the National League of Cities, but it became a separate corporation in 1967 due to the growth and popularity of the program. Twin Town cultural events include the annual National Cherry Blossom Festival in Washington, D.C. honoring Washington's twin relationship with Tokyo City. Many twin towns developed business agreements with their partners. For example, Vermont's Ben and Jerry's Ice Cream Company opened a factory in the Republic of Karelia in Russia and offered the same profit-sharing plan to its Russian employees. Asia Town twinning is supported in Japan by the Council of Local Authorities for International Relations, a joint agency of local governments established by the Japanese government in 1988, similar to Sister Cities International, its counterpart in the U.S. More recently, Tokyo has begun to actively promote city diplomacy with other global cities at the initiative of its governor Yoichi Masuzo. Linguistic reasons. Relationships between communities can also arise because of shared names. They may be named after one community, as in the case of Córdoba, they may share names, as in the case of Santiago de Compostela, or their names may have a common etymology. These similarities usually arise from sharing the same or related language, or from having been a colony or previously conquered. Political significance. Twinning towns and cities is sometimes done for political purposes. The Hungarian city Gyongos was twinned with the Azerbaijani city of Shusha in 2013, signing the twinning agreement with representatives from the Azerbaijani government. Hungary recognizes Shusha as part of Azerbaijan, even though since the end of the Karabakh War it has been controlled by the military forces of Armenia and the unrecognized Artsakh, de jure part of Azerbaijan. An attempt was made in 2003 by Preston city councillors in England to twin with the Palestinian town of Nablus in the name of solidarity. Termination of sister city relationships. As the result of a dispute in 2012, the city of Nanjing suspended their sister city relationship with Nagoya after Nanking massacre. Denialist statements by Nagoya's mayor, Takashi Kawamura. In 2013, the Italian cities of Milan, Venice, and Turin, formerly twinned with St. Petersburg, suspended their links due to Russia's passage of anti-gay legislation. Activists in California circulated petitions urging California cities and countries with relationships with Russian counterparts to take similar steps. In 2014, Prague terminated its partnership with St. Petersburg and Moscow because of the Russian military intervention in Ukraine. Moscow had been Prague's partner city since 1995. In 2017, the mayor of Osaka, Hirofumi Yoshimura, ended the city's 60-year relationship with San Francisco due to the erection of a memorial to comfort women in downtown San Francisco. Similarly, the cities of Glendale, California and Higashiosaka, Japan came close to terminating their twinning in 2013 and 2014 because of an ongoing dispute over Glendale's support for the erection of a statue dedicated to Korean comfort women in a city park. Gallery. See also: Council of Local Authorities for International Relations, Cross-border town naming, Duzelage, Global city, Lists of twin towns and sister cities, List of twin towns and sister cities in Europe, Most ancient European towns network, Paradiplomacy, Partnership Together, Sister Cities International. References. External links. European Congress on Citizenship and Twinning, Germany and the Town Twinning Movement, Town twinning in Europe's municipalities, towns and regions, Twinning in Europe, UK Town Twinning Portal. Twinnings for Tomorrow's World, a Practical Handbook. PDF. Brussels, CEMR Council of European Municipalities and Regions. Archived from the original PDF on 13 May 2008. Retrieved 11 January 2010.